ये सर मैंने footnote 22 पे I have put down the, and this is of course just another way of saying justice must be seen to be done. Now, in this particular case, sir, the fair-minded observer would have entertained the reasonable possibility that the tribunal is biased on account of at least 4 things that are stated by Justice Naseem Hassan Shah. Isme, sir, if your lordship can first look at the book and then at the...
So objective bias, according to you, would be bias which doesn't require further inquiry, and a reasonable man could suppose that there is bias.
Yes, and that your lordship can conclude as a matter of law, with no factual
inquiry is required for that.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. अब सर पहले किताब पे आ जाते हैं और फिर उसके बाद जो इंटरव्यू है, किताब सर पेज tab 20 है, it's the second book, sir. Sorry, 21. इसमें the relevant chapter I have included. If your lordship will see 666.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sir, 666. Tab 21. Ji.
666.
666. And if your lordship sees the third line, I think part of it has already been read by Mr. Maktoum Ali Khan, so I won't take up your lordship's time. But in this he says that Justice Mushtaq Hussain, Chief Justice of the Punjab High Court, and Mr. Sharifuddin Pirzada, Attorney General, came to see me. Now, sir, the reason why this, and they asked me that I should sit in on the appeal. Now, the reason why this is not an allegation, at least I'm not using it here as an allegation that he made against Mr. Justice Mushtaq Hussain or Mr. Justice Sharifuddin Pirzada, but your lordship will recall that Justice Naseem Hassan Shah was himself hearing, and he was part of the bench that was hearing the bias of the Chief Justice of the Lahore High Court. Now, at the time, if the Chief Justice of the Lahore High Court, after having made a decision, comes to a Supreme Court judge and says that you should sit in on the appeal against my decision, now that is a relevant matter that Justice Naseem Hassan Shah ought to have disclosed at the time when he was hearing the Bhutto appeal. And especially when 90 paragraphs are devoted to the point of bias of the Lahore High Court.
So you're saying that when the meeting took place, Justice Naseem Hassan Shah was already hearing the matter?
No, he heard it subsequently, but he ought to have disclosed it not only to all his fellow...
However, few days later, the Chief Justice informed me that the full court strength was 9 and he would like to keep this strength, and since I was the 9th judge, I shall have to sit on the bench for this appeal hearing.
बिल्कुल
ये reason दिया उन्होंने
जी
9 जज चाहिए थे, मैं आखिरी था, उनका 9 जज का बेंच बना.
Salahuddin, if we come, before we come into the latter part of the thing, I mean, I think this is very inappropriate conduct